We often find that many of the most intriguing, enigmatic, and as yet unexplained ancient ruins found all over our world are regularly claimed as the legacy of more recent, well-studied, permitted ancestors. However, this constant attribution to lesser-developed ancestors, studied and understood intimately through funded investigation, is self-contradictory in nature. For the parallel study of said ages, and in turn early man's development, disproves their own claim of said individual's culpability or indeed capabilities. It seems that although only a specific tale of events is publicly permitted for grants, offering financial security to so-called professors and historians, all willing to toe the proverbial line, inadvertently expose themselves without any outside intervention. Due to the detailed, well-established understandings possessed by modern archaeological study, we are, by default, also made intimately aware of the tools available to each of the claimed culprits, the knowledge levels in which they possessed, and the fact that many other factors regarding our not-so-distant ancestors disproves academia's own testimony when it comes to them as claimed builders. However, although, in our opinion, there is overwhelming evidence to suggest that many ancient ruins were instead re-inhabited by these claimed constructors, utilizing these ancient sites, often fortresses, beneficial, often ingenious, and baffling constructions safely, virtually impenetrable designs, and thus solid foundations for the development of their own civilizations, not only allowed them to flourish, but also leaving behind a detailed array of archaeological finds, used as the basis of academia's claim of these groups having built these sites, but also claiming such sites as their work in historical records which are always absent any explanation as to how this was achieved. There also exist sites on Earth that, instead of allowing funded individuals to use additional re-inhabitations as a basis for an argument for their origins, can instead, due to the sheer mass of these historical footprints, each stacked atop one another, can instead actually indicate the site's enormous age. A land feature generated as a result of this incredibly long-lived accommodation that we call tells. Tells are artificial mounds formed from the accumulated refuse from generations of people. Tells are most commonly associated with the archaeology of the ancient Near East, but they are also found elsewhere, such as Central Asia, Eastern Europe, West Africa, and Greece. Within the Near East, they are concentrated in less arid regions, including Upper Mesopotamia, the southern Levant, Anatolia, and Iran, which had more continuous settlement. What can only be explained as man-made, artificially generated sedimentary layers, one has to ask themselves, how long would a particular site have to have been inhabited for to create such enormous, incredibly deep layers of earthwork, merely generated by its inhabitants living in said area, clearly for an unimaginably long period of time. The Erbil Citadel, for example, locally called Kalat, is a tell located within the historical city center of Erbil in the Kurdistan region of Iraq. The citadel appeared for the first time in historical sources in the Ibla tablets around 2300 BC, and although it has been confirmed as having been inhabited as far back as the Neolithic period, we have long argued due to their activities and capabilities that the Neolithics were a surviving remnant of the most recent lost civilization. If this is so, then it is highly likely that the citadel of Erbil is in fact far older than that of even the Neoliths, its incredible height also indicative of an inconceivably long history of virtually continuous inhabitation. How old is the Erbil Citadel, or indeed the world's tells in general? Is it an earthwork merely started by our Neolithic ancestors? Or is it possibly a relic spanning far before currently understood or indeed accepted timelines for man? They are, undoubtedly, highly compelling.